All right, and joining me today is Danny Barlow, who fights Joshua Quinlan at UFC 298. That fight is on February 17th. So, Danny, I wanted to start here. Obviously, devastating win on the Contender Series. Took you 79 seconds to get the job done. But now you've kind of been sitting around waiting. It's been 5 months since you've gotten the fight. Was that sort of by design, or have you been, chomping at the bit to get in there?
I mean, like, I've been open. I've been in training camp for like 10 months, so I haven't been out. So it wasn't on me. It was just definitely they offer. As soon as the first offer, we just took it. So it had nothing to do with me. So yeah, I just been waiting. So it just kind of worked out like that.
Is it frustrating a little bit for you not to be able to get back in the cage? Because I know you're a guy who's liked short turnarounds in the past. You didn't have a lot of time before your Contender Series fight and your fight before that. So was it tough for you to kind of sit on the shelf a bit?
No. It's never tough to sit on the shelf because that's when you have the most fun. You have the most fun when you can just work on your craft and just get better. So yeah, it's like I'm all on God timing too. So it's never my time. You know what I'm saying? Like you can beat a lot of guys, but timing is important. It's like so I feel like whenever the time is, it's gonna be the best. You know what I'm saying, option for me. So when the time come, it come. But if it don't, it means that I need to be working and focusing. And I have more fun in camps when I can get big and strong and eat whatever I need to eat. You know what I'm saying? Don't have to really, just have to focus too much on the discipline part as far as like, eating and I can just basically put everything into growth. You know what I'm saying? I can eat all the things that give me the right gains. I can do all the things that give me the right gains. So it's basically just fun, just training without that pressure, if that makes sense.
Yeah, that makes perfect sense to
Yeah.
me. Now, I wanted to talk a little bit about your training camp too, because I feel like not enough people know about law school MMA. Brian Hall, an exceptional coach, but you and Ryan Spann are kind of the first guys bringing him into the limelight. So, can you give us a little taste of what we ought to know about him and what people will know about him soon enough?
Oh man, Brian Hall was a guy. He fought for Bellator, back in the day. He's an early, what I'm saying, just an early MMA fighter that basically didn't have the right coach and didn't have the right team. He did a lot of stuff by himself, and basically he just created a system and a team to basically, push somebody just a little bit further than where he went. And that's just where he comes from. But man, just right now in the flesh, man, he's one of the greatest coaches in the world. He got me to where I'm at in 4 years. You see what I'm saying? So if they don't say nothing, then what I'm saying, I can't explain more. You know what I'm saying? But he was a coach that got me to where it only took 4 years for him to get me to where I'm at in the UFC and possibly one of the best strikers in the UFC now and actually one of the best wrestlers in the UFC. A lot of people don't know. So it's like, yeah, so he's a great coach.
Yeah, I love that. Nice to hear. Now, I wanted to talk about you being one of the best strikers in the UFC too, because you got the nickname, and I love a good nickname story. I love people telling me where their nicknames come from. So you got the nickname Left-Handed God. Who gave it to you? How did you wind up with the, probably one of the more unique nicknames in MMA?
I mean, it was like like I said, my coach, bro. Like I said, he was my coach. Like we got that relationship to where it's like I'm just like the guy that's like on go, or the guy that's just got the heart. You see what I'm saying? I'm very, involved in like understanding the game and real technical and stuff like that too. So we have good conversations about the game. But he gave him my nickname, man. He gave him my nickname, and it came. What I'm saying? He said he was watching. I don't know where he got it from, bro, but he gave it to me, man. I think it stemmed from like earlier in my career. I used to kind of like fight with adrenaline, like had that adrenaline rush or whatever, and I used to fight with that. And man, I used to always say, Coach, what happened? Like, man, you hit him with the left, you caught him with that left hand. Like, I don't care what it was. Like, you threw a kick, then you caught him with the left hand, or you threw a jab, then caught him with the left. It's like it always. You know what I'm saying, was like, yeah, that left hand is active. So I think it came from that. It's like, because it was something that stood out to where, man, if he hit you with that left hand, man, like, yeah, like it's going, yeah. So it came from Coach, you know what I'm saying? It came from just something that he seen in me, you know what I'm saying? So, yeah, so Coach gave me that name.
I
Yeah.
dig it. I dig it. Now, you mentioned in there, I wanted to talk to you about game planning because, I've heard from some fighters, they love being part of the game planning process. Some just like their coach to be like video game controllers telling them what to do. You're a guy who's cerebral. He likes to focus on the pieces of the game. So how does that work with you and Brian? And how do you guys work through the game planning
It's
process?
it started in the gym, man. Like he know we know what we like to do. He know what I'm good at, and he wasn't good at coaching me with being in bad positions because I have never been in. So we did have to make some adjustments after the first time I got taken down and I got my back took. And he was like that, like it's like our connection kind of faded a little bit, like in the bad position. So we started to focus more on bad positions in practice. You know what I'm saying? And coaching and like so it's like no, we got that relationship. So it started at practice. Like he don't really. It's like we connected. It's like we avatar. The avatar, but it's like it's a connection, man. And we hooked up and we, like you said, we hooked in. So it's like, even when it's like, I'm the fighter. So it's like, I'm still in control 100%. So it's like when it's just not listening to what he say, do. It's actually seeing where it fit at while I'm in the cage. Cause he'll say, let's say if he say 2-9, that's like, he'll call out that combo. Like 2-9, I'll fake the 2-9 before I throw it just to see. Okay, what's the range? I have to check the range on it. Have to check the texture on how I want to throw the 2 hard. I want to sit on the 2. So it's like it's a lot that I do, and that's what make it fun. The fact that he's showing me what he see. So it's there. It might not be the way so I can't just say to throw the 2-9. It might be a quick 2 and sit and blast a 9, or it might be, what I'm saying, yeah, it's just the different textures of how I fit what coach is saying, you know what I'm saying? So it's not, I'm in 100% control, but he just showed me what I see. Because if you ever outside the cage, you watching it, you can always see something that they can't see. So it's just me just trusting what he see. You know what I'm saying? Trusting his eye.
I like that. Now, I wanted to ask you too about what you said in there about being in a bad position for the first time, getting your back taken. For a lot of fighters who are, seemingly untouchable on the regional scene and have never really done that, they come in with kind of a skewed view of how good they are, or, that they're infallible. Do you feel like that moment was a big turning point for you in your career in like recognizing that there was, stuff to work on at times?
I think you can get comfortable when you just don't have that, and I think it's a learning lesson to just always look for that outside of the cage. But I just feel like it was a fight, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like it was just a fight. Like it's a lot of fans, a lot of people don't understand, bro. We in this game with other trained professionals, bro. Like anybody can, anything can happen. You know what I'm saying? I have seen guys win the whole fight and then boom. You know what I'm saying? Last 10 seconds, get caught in triangle choke. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, like, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, it's the game. So pretty much it was just a game. It was just my first time. It's just the way, when you used to being dominant, you have to understand the dominance have to grow. Like it have to grow, or you're going to have to start being able to check on that heart, check on that heart, that toughness. And it's like, that's all it did. It just changed the way I trained. I was coming forward a lot after that. I was walking forward. I was, what I'm saying, on the weights a different type of way. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't looking to win at practice no more. I started back looking for those hard days. Like, what I'm saying? I started looking for like them bad positions. I stopped at practice. I started going for flying triangles and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm like, bro, I want to, like, I don't like being in bad position, but now I'm finna do something that I'm gonna try. I'm gonna just try more things. You know what I'm saying? So I opened up on trying more things, and like I said, I fixed that. Yeah, I fixed that. And we got on the mats, and having that live performance rolling. Like got into like more jiu-jitsu tournaments. You know what I'm saying? Because the speed when you hit the ground is totally different. You know what I'm saying? You have to know what you want to do on the ground. Like just like you know what you want to do on the feet, you have to know exactly like this. Like as soon as I hit my back, this is what I do. I shrimp, go for, you know what I'm saying? So it just helped a lot with the game plan on the ground. Like I said, we got great ground game wrestling, but it just we wasn't used to being in that position. So it's like, well, it was just like, a place that we have never been before. I can say that.
I like it. Now, I want to talk to you about this upcoming fight because, so many people coming off the Contender Series get stuck right back in the Apex, right? Small crowds,
Mm-hmm.
barely anybody there. But they didn't do that for you. They rolled out the big crowd for you. You get UFC 298. You get the Honda Center, Anaheim, a card with 3 champs or former champs on it, absolutely loaded up, going to be packed to the brim. What was sort of your thoughts when they sent you the bout agreement and you found out that there would be a huge crowd around your debut and you were going to get a chance to do this in front of a lot of people?
I mean, bro, I see. I mean, I got that swag for it, man. It's like, I mean, that's the only thing I haven't experienced. That man, that's the next step. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's that's the next step for me. Like, I feel like being in the not coming out to music was the worst thing that could ever happen. You know, it's time, but it was a great difference. So I feel like this is going to be a great difference. You know what I'm saying? And it can break you or make you. Like, I'm not coming in this thing like you know what I'm saying, talking like this game ain't is real, bro. It's real. Like, you know what I'm saying? And the people that do this on this high level, they be faced with those realities all the time about how real the pressure is. So I'm looking forward to it's basically the game exposing itself to me. You see what I'm saying? Like, I'm not coming in arrogant. I'm not coming in like I don't overlook my opponents. I just know what I am. So I know my potential and I know what I am. So I'm just excited to see what it do to me, because I feel like a lot of people don't understand that when you are in these situations, sometimes you lose control, and sometimes that's what called going with the flow. You see what I'm saying?
Mhm.
So like, I'm not expecting to be able to control this, but I'm excited to see the waves, and I'm expecting to see. I might be a smooth surfer, man. You know what I'm saying? But I'm expecting to ride that ride for real. You know what I'm saying? So it's a ride, man. So I'm expecting. I'm just excited to get on a new ride, if that makes sense, man. I'm expecting to get on that horse, man, buck, get on that bull. Yeah. So I'm expecting it to be exciting. I'm not shying away from it at all. But I do this game, bro, so I understand that anything can happen. I'm okay with anything happening.
I love it. Now you mentioned opponent, you mentioned getting a chance to do this in front of people, and it doesn't necessarily matter who's in front of you. But you're a guy who's now faced opponent changes all the time, right? You're supposed to fight Justin Burlington on Contender Series, you
Yeah.
got Raheem Forrest. You're supposed to fight Kinoshita here, you get Joshua Quinlan. Now, when they did come with you the shift a little bit later on in your camp, was your thought, again, it doesn't matter, we just step up to the next guy? Was it, time to do some research? What was kind of your approach to when you heard Joshua Quinlan?
Man, a wise man said, fool me once. You know what I'm saying? You can put the blame on, I put the blame on you. Shame on you, man. Fool me once, shame on you, bro. Fool me twice, can't put the blame on you, bro. You know what I'm saying? It's like, that's real. It's like, man, you got to be expecting anything to happen, bro. You got to be ready for whatever, man. I never had a regular fight as a pro. Never. You know what I'm saying? My second fight was in Miami, 1 week notice with a changed opponent the last hour. For real. You know what I'm saying? And he had every reason to lose. Like, they made it comfortable for me. So it's like, I can still lose to this guy, but they was like, man, he can't. They made him seem like the superhero. He saved the night, but this guy still was a dangerous fighter. He was a pro fighter. Like, so I had to make it look like I had to make it look easy. You know what I'm saying? So I'm coming in these fights with objectives. I'm not just trying to win. I'm not just trying to. I'm coming to put a stamp on it. You know what I'm saying? So this I'm looking for, I'm ready for whatever, man. You know, so like I said, I like, first thing I learned about when I did this sport is that, man, it's a blessing to get a dub, but it's unacceptable to not fight. You see what I'm saying? Meaning that it's a blessing to win, but it's unacceptable to not fight. Meaning that a lot of people win, not fight. You see what I'm saying? A lot of people avoid, getting in that, you know what I'm saying, ring and putting in that work, man. So I'm just not I'm okay with however anything go, but God, I'm 7-0 for a reason. You know what I'm saying? So I don't take my pride or my record or anything in the cage. I come in there to fight. So you know what I'm saying? So that's pretty much why I'm always prepared to go in there and fight. And if you prepared to go in there and fight, it mean that win, lose, or draw, they're gonna say what? Hey, yeah, that was a good fight. So yeah, that's my goal: have a good fight every time I get in the cage, or go to sleep. Or go to sleep. Like, if I come out there sleep, I'm good. It was a good night.
Well, you mentioned putting a stamp on this fight, and usually I like to end these with the same way. I like the prediction question. So tell me how this one ends come February 17th.
Man, like I have said for every fight, man, dude, like, I haven't gotten past the reading phase with a lot of guys. You know what I'm saying? Like, even the fights that have went to a decision, I thank God my first fight went to decision, because I just needed to feel those 5-minute rounds. But I think my fourth fight, with Dustin DePuma, it went all 3 rounds. There was a fill out. Like, I didn't have my number one training partner with me, and it was a fill out fight. Like, I didn't pull the trigger, so like I could. But it's like, if that fight would have been 5 rounds or 4 rounds, yes, I would have. I wasn't tired at all. You know what I'm saying? So it's like I kind of got warmed up. I kind of got, settled in late. and I could see that he was just on his back. It's nothing he could do. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, so after that fight, it was more so like, yeah, man, if you not like everybody dangerous within that first 30 seconds of every fight, man. So if I was a blind man and I reach my hand out to feel you, and you ain't there when I just don't feel you. So if it's like that first round, if you're not a guy that's taking taking the middle of the ring and you know, and showing that dominance and yeah, and being dominant and basically giving me that pushback is like, man, hey, you gonna get out there early. You know what I'm saying? But if you're a guy that's, you know what I'm saying, you push back and you I feel you, and we gonna fight. It's gonna be a good fight. So it's a win-win for me. You know what I'm saying? It's like I'm gonna go in there to fight every time, and win, lose, or draw, I'm gonna give the greatest fight that I can give. So like I said, man, the prediction is, man, it's gonna either be a short night or a long night, man. So, yeah.
Well, you heard it here first, folks. This has been Danny Barlow, who fights Joshua Quinlan at UFC 298. Once again, that fight, February 17th. Danny, thank you so much for the time, man. I really appreciate it.
Yes, sir.